But I wanted to hop on real quick because there's something really interesting happening spiritually, and I wanted to make note of it. If you're new to my channel, my name is Zoha. I am a Reiki healer, yoga teacher, facilitator for trauma-informed work and care for women in the Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. And welcome to my channel. So I'm out doing one of my walks, and I usually do walk and talks. I haven't done them in a long time because the weather hasn't been great for them, but today we're going to push. And this will not be long because I'm still collecting my thoughts around this, but I wanted to say something before it got ahead of me because I find myself sometimes hesitating so much to talk that the thing spirals out of control and then there's nothing left to be said. But I wanted to say this. So there's this thing happening, this revisionist history happening around how we're experiencing this realm. And it's very odd. It's very, it has a distinct energy to it. And what I'm witnessing is people changing the history of things in order to fit this current dynamic we're in. This current dynamic we're in the United States, where the leaders are so cartoonishly evil that it makes the old leadership or the former leadership look like it was good. It's so insanely nasty and attacking normal, like what we perceive to be normal everyday human rights, that we are like really fictioning the past. We are recreating the past. And I saw a post this morning, I saw a few posts, but the post this morning about Pope John Francis passing after meeting J.D. Vance is, and everyone's like, oh my God, he met evil and he died. And I'm just like, what? Do we like the Pope now? Is that what y'all are telling me? Are we saying that the Catholic Church is a good entity? Especially as Black people, like, you know, hearing other Black people say this is like, oh, the Pope met J.D. Vance and he died. So we have somehow tricked ourselves into believing that the work that the Catholic Church has done has been good, and that J.D. Vance is so evil that the church is actually great. And it's scary. It's scary to watch this happening in real time because what I'm realizing is that people are under such tremendous pressure spiritually, emotionally, physically, that they're like, I'll take anything back. I'll take this old reality back where this entity or these entities were harming us, and but it was like such a low value, like, you know, a low totem pole harm, that it was bearable and I could deal with it. And so I'll take that back, please. Thank you. Versus what we're dealing with now, where we're being pulled at every seam and seemingly feeling like we're being pulled apart, right? And so it's better when someone's just tugging on your leg versus pulling your hair out, stabbing you, cutting your neck, cutting off each of your digits, right? So we much prefer that. And that's how extreme we are experiencing this reality right now. And it's just the same, like, even, you know, I watched this over the past 10 years with George Bush. Like, when George Bush was president, he was hated, absolutely hated in my community. And then he formulates a relationship with Michelle Obama, and now he's seen as this funny old guy who's, you know, he had a rough time, and now he's, you know, settled down into himself, and he's a good guy now. And that's, again, another form of revisionist history. And I think we need to be paying attention to this because we need to be careful, not only because this is how, especially as a Black person who is a descendant of enslaved people, this is how they take away our history. This is how they get us to move away from the idea that what will happen to our ancestors and what happened to some of our parents and grandparents through sharecropping and Jim Crow was not a problem. it was, it was just a part of the times, right? Because this is how they've survived all of this. And what I'm seeing is it's a disease. It's catching. It's a disease because even if you ask, certain white people, they'll say, oh, well, how are you suffering now? You can't make excuses, da 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 da. And that is literally the disease that is infecting everyone right now spiritually. And it's an apathetic disease that comes from being worn, that comes from being abused so much that you settle into abuse as a norm, and it's dangerous. It's dangerous. And I think we need to talk about this. I think we need to talk about it before it gets out of hand. And we're literally watching people be shot on the streets and be like, oh, well, this is the worst. It wasn't as bad, before. It's bad. It's out of control. We are in something quite scary, and it's taking a life of its own. And if you don't start telling the truth now, if we don't start collectively telling the truth about history, it's all going to be gone. It's all going to be gone, and all we'll have is what we know from moment to moment, and that is the machine working to shut you down, to cut you off spiritually, to cut you off emotionally, to cut you off from your humanness. That is the machine working to do that. And it's doing a damn good job right now, because the amount of black people that I see fawning over George W. Bush, that I saw this morning posting about Pope John Francis passing because J.D. Vance was so specifically evil. Like the Catholic Church isn't responsible for their living in America, for the Crusades, for all of the Christian domination and wars all over the earth since the 1700s. Like, the whole shit that we're in was funded by them. So people don't speak their own languages. There are people in countries all over the world who don't know their ancestors, who don't know who they are because of the Catholic Church, who have been separated, who have been interrupted. Who will we be if this had not happened? We don't even know who we are without this happening. We have no idea. That was stolen from us. It was stolen from us. And if we go along with this revisionist history, it'll continue to be stolen from us. And we will be shells of people. And y'all call people NPCs, but this is how you become an NPC. When you don't have no history, when you don't have no language, when you don't have no self-value, when you don't have no self-awareness, this is how you become an NPC. This is how you become a fiction or a fraction of a human being. And it is dangerous, and I had to talk about it. I don't know what the what's perfectly planned to do, but I think we should call it out. I think one thing we can do to stop this from happening is call it out as we see it happening. Don't let it go over people's heads. Talk about it as much as possible. Keep talking about your history. Keep talking about your people's history. Talk about your mother's history, your grandmother's history, your grandparents' history, your grandfather's history. Everything that you know, keep telling those stories. Tell your stories. Do not let your stories be buried, because you will be buried with them. Because that is the purpose of what is happening right now. And I wish I didn't sound cuckoo. And I don't think I sound cuckoo, but I know to some people who are not spiritually aware, I probably do. And that's fine. But I hope this finds you. And I hope you tell your stories. I hope you don't let them take away what your ancestors fought for you to have, based on trying to make it look like we've always been in this pseudo okay space with our colonizers and oppressors. We have never been in it. It's always been a war, silent, cold, but there's always been a war. And to act like there hasn't been, it's stealing, it's killing. That's the real, death. That's the real spiritual death. Don't die. Don't let them kill you, and don't kill yourself by claiming these stories that are now being said. That's all I gotta say. All right, y'all. Hope y'all have a good week. Talk soon. Peace.